Not too long ago, things in Ghana felt a bit, shall we say, wobbly. The Ghanaian economy was facing some serious headwinds. Prices for everyday things were going up, up, up. The Cedi, Ghana's currency, was having a tough time against the big guys, especially the US dollar. People were worried. Businesses were cautious. It was a period of uncertainty, a real economic nail-biter for many ordinary Ghanaians just trying to make a living and plan for their future. The global economic climate didn't help much either. International supply chains were messy, inflation was a global party nobody wanted an invitation to, and borrowing money became more expensive. The government had to make some tough decisions. It was a challenging chapter, a time when the vibrant spirit of Ghana was truly tested. People remembered the good old days and wondered when they would return. Many Ghanaians felt the pinch directly. Imagine going to the market, and the price of tomatoes or rice had jumped significantly from the last week. Small business owners, the backbone of Ghana's commerce, struggled with rising costs of raw materials and a decrease in customer spending power. But Ghanaians are resilient. This period of economic hardship, though tough, also sowed the seeds for change. Then, something started to shift. The Ghanaian government, recognizing the urgent need for change, rolled up its sleeves and got to work. They introduced a series of bold economic reforms. These weren't just small tweaks, they were significant game-changing policies aimed at stabilizing the economy and setting it on a path to growth. One of the first major steps was tackling government spending and increasing revenue. The government implemented measures to improve tax collection, making sure everyone paid their fair share. They also took a hard look at public expenditure, cutting down on waste and ensuring that money was being spent wisely on projects that would benefit the country. Another key part of the blueprint was a strong focus on boosting local production. The idea was simple. If Ghana makes more of what it needs, it doesn't have to spend so much money importing goods from other countries. So there were new initiatives to support farmers, manufacturers, and other local industries. Furthermore, the government launched a comprehensive strategy to attract foreign investment, but on Ghana's terms. They worked to create a more business-friendly environment, reducing red tape and making it easier for investors to set up shop. This careful, strategic approach to economic management began to restore confidence, slowly but surely. It was about smart partnerships, not just any investment. You can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation, right? The same goes for an economy. Ghana understood this well. A major part of its economic comeback story involved massive investments in infrastructure. We're talking roads, bridges, ports, and energy. These are the arteries and veins of a country's economy. Good roads mean farmers can get their produce to market faster. Reliable energy means factories can run without interruption. Improved ports mean smoother trade with the rest of the world. These weren't just construction projects, they were investments in Ghana's future productivity and connectivity. Alongside physical infrastructure, Ghana made a giant leap in technology. The government recognized that the future is digital. They pushed for greater internet penetration, making sure more Ghanaians had access to fast and reliable internet. This wasn't just about browsing social media, it was about unlocking new economic opportunities. Special attention was given to building digital skills among the youth, preparing them for the jobs of tomorrow. These investments in infrastructure and technology created a ripple effect across the economy. It was a holistic approach, understanding that a modern, thriving economy needs both strong physical foundations and advanced digital capabilities. Now let's talk about money, specifically how Ghana modernized its money. One of the most exciting developments was the big push into financial technology, or Fintech. Ghana was already a leader in mobile money in Africa, but it didn't stop there. The government and the Bank of Ghana actively encouraged innovation in the financial sector. This led to a boom in new digital payment systems, online banking services, and financial tools that made life easier for everyone. A really big deal was the exploration and eventual phased rollout of a digital version of the Cedi, often dubbed the Cedi. This wasn't about replacing cash entirely, but about offering a new, efficient, and secure way to transact. The Cedi promised to reduce the costs associated with handling physical cash, improve transparency in financial transactions, and bring more people into the formal financial system. This was particularly important for people in rural areas who might not have easy access to traditional banks. This Fintech revolution wasn't just about convenience. It had serious economic benefits. The government played a crucial role by creating a supportive regulatory environment. This collaborative approach was key to the success of Ghana's fintech boom. Section 5, Global Handshakes, International Partnerships Powering Progress. Ghana didn't try to do everything alone. A smart country knows when to team up. Ghana actively strengthened its partnerships with international bodies and other countries. These weren't just about asking for help, they were about collaboration, trade, and mutual benefit. Ghana worked closely with organizations like the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and the African Development Bank. These partnerships provided access to technical expertise, development finance, and support for its reform programs. These international bodies often played a role in validating Ghana's economic policies. When organizations like the IMF give a thumbs up to a country's economic plan, it boosts investor confidence. This made it easier for Ghana to attract foreign direct investment and secure favorable terms for international loans when needed. Beyond the big financial institutions, Ghana also focused on strengthening bilateral relationships with various countries. These global handshakes opened doors for Ghanaian businesses to export their goods and services, bringing in valuable foreign exchange and creating more jobs back home. Ghana, with its growing economy and stable political environment, became an attractive partner for many countries. Section 6. Made in Ghana, for the world, the rise of local champions. The economic comeback wasn't just about government policies and international help. A huge part of the story was the incredible energy and innovation of Ghanaian businesses and entrepreneurs. From small market traders to larger manufacturing companies, local businesses stepped up. There was a renewed focus on Made in Ghana. This wasn't just a slogan, it became a movement. Ghanaians started to take even more pride in buying locally produced goods, and Ghanaian companies worked hard to improve quality and compete with imported products. Entrepreneurs are the lifeblood of any thriving economy, and Ghana has them in abundance. Young Ghanaians, full of ideas and ambition, started new businesses in all sorts of sectors, from tech startups and fashion labels to agribusiness and renewable energy. The government and various private organizations provided support through incubation hubs, access to finance, and mentorship programs. One area where local businesses particularly shone was in adding value to Ghana's raw materials. The success of these local champions had a powerful ripple effect. It showed that it was possible to build successful, world-class businesses in Ghana. Section 7. The Cedi roars, why Ghana's currency outpaced the dollar. Now for the really juicy part, how did the Ghanaian Cedi, which had been struggling, suddenly start flexing its muscles against the mighty US dollar by 2025? It sounds like a financial David versus Goliath story, right? Well, it wasn't magic, it was the result of all those carefully planned policies and efforts finally bearing fruit. One of the biggest factors was improved fiscal discipline. When a government manages its finances responsibly, spends wisely, and collects taxes efficiently, it builds confidence in the economy and its currency. Less borrowing meant less pressure on the Cedi. Another huge contributor was the increase in local production and exports, coupled with a reduction in reliance on imports. Remember the Made in Ghana push? When Ghana started producing more of what it consumed, from food to manufactured goods, it needed to buy fewer things from abroad. This meant less demand for foreign currencies like the dollar to pay for imports. At the same time, as Ghanaian businesses started exporting more value-added products, more foreign currency, including dollars, flowed into Ghana. The boom in the technology sector, especially fintech and the moves towards a digital Cedi, also played a significant role. Increased foreign direct investment, attracted by the stable economic environment and growth prospects, brought in more foreign currency. The combination of strong economic fundamentals, increased export earnings, reduced import bills, higher investor confidence, and sound central bank management created the perfect storm for the Cedi's remarkable and surprising triumph over the dollar. Section 8. A Better Life. The comeback's impact on everyday Ghanaians. So all these big economic changes, the stronger Cedi, the new infrastructure, what did it actually mean for the average Ghanaian? Well, it meant a lot. Firstly, a stronger Cedi helped to tame inflation. When the Cedi is strong, imported goods become cheaper, or at least their prices don't rise as quickly. This meant that the cost of everyday essentials, from fuel to food items that still needed to be imported, became more stable. Families found that their money could stretch a bit further at the market, providing much-needed relief and improving their purchasing power. The economic growth and new investments also meant more jobs, with new businesses starting up and existing ones expanding, especially in sectors like technology, manufacturing, and services. Unemployment rates began to fall. Young people in particular found more opportunities. This wasn't just about having a job, it was about having better quality jobs with better pay and prospects. The investments in infrastructure also brought tangible benefits. Better roads meant shorter travel times and lower transport costs. The expansion of internet connectivity opened up a world of information, communication, and opportunity for people, even in more remote areas. Section 9. The Golden Horizon, Ghana's bright economic future. Looking ahead from this vantage point in mid-2025, Ghana's economic future looks incredibly bright, like the golden sun over the Gulf of Guinea. The foundations laid in the preceding years, the disciplined fiscal management, the investments in infrastructure and technology, the empowerment of local businesses, and the strong international partnerships have set the stage for sustained growth and development. The Cedi's strength is not just a temporary blip, it's a reflection of a fundamentally healthier and more resilient economy. This provides a stable platform for further advancements. The continued focus on innovation, particularly in the digital space, promises to unlock even more potential. As the Cedi becomes more integrated and fintech solutions evolve, Ghana is poised to become a true leader in digital finance in Africa. This will further enhance efficiency, transparency, and financial inclusion. Moreover, the emphasis on value addition to local resources, moving beyond reliance on raw commodity exports, will continue to diversify the economy and create higher value jobs. Continued investment in education and skills development will be crucial to ensure that Ghanaians can take full advantage of the new opportunities being created. The success story of Ghana's economic resurgence and the Cedi's triumph serves as an inspiration, not just for Ghanaians but for other nations facing similar challenges. The Golden Horizon is not just a dream, it's a future that Ghana is actively building, one success at a time.